Hey everybody, the following is an excerpt from the monthly Rahdo Roundup, and if you'd like to see the rest of the Roundup, you can hit that eye up in the top right corner of the screen, or if you'd like to know more about the game, you can follow the link down in the show notes. And with that out of the way, let's talk about Animalia, another trick-taking game. Yes, I tried another one, but this one is cooperative. And I have to admit, I was really impressed by this. Not only do I really like the theme, which is all about saving endangered species all around the world in different countries, but this is a trick-taking game, like Megalomania before it, or like The Crew, that every time you set up gives everybody unique missions that they have to work on. So again, it adds an extra level of complexity. There's not just like this one universal thing. In a given time, I might have to win 4 South American tricks, and one of them has to be an elk. And then a fifth trick in this round has to be, I have to win one that will give me an elk from anywhere in the world except South America, because that's what my funding is, and I have to win those types of tricks. And meanwhile, you have to win European tricks, but you also need an elk. And so how are we going to work together to make sure you can win all the tricks you need to win, and I can win all the tricks I need to win? Again, playing fairly standard trick-taking rules. The lead card says what everybody else has to play. The high card wins. Everybody takes the trick. And now here's the interesting thing. This Animalia is a co-op game for 1, 2, or 3 players. And like The Crew, it introduces, if you've ever played The Crew as a 2-player game, which I love, it introduces a third player, a wildlife agency that we all work for. And in The Crew, this third player was just kind of like a dummy player that replicates the third player. But in this game, it's actually a player that does a completely different thing. I forget the name, the WFA, the Wild Federation Association player, who, if you're playing a 3-player game, somebody takes on that role. And if you're playing a 2-player game or a 1-player game, that role is automated and we make choices for them. Their job is to raise funds. Because the low-value cards we can play have special powers. The high-value cards we can play raise money. And the thing is, we as individual agents can't raise money. So if we win a trick using a high value card, hey, we won the trick we needed to do, but we didn't get the funds. If the third player wins a trick with a high value card, they get the funds. And they can distribute the funds to us, the actual agents, so we can use the special powers of the low value cards. And this is freaking brilliant. I was really impressed a lot with Animalia. It has that same kind of, how to puzzle out, when do I want to win, when do I want to lose, when do I want you to win, when do I want you to lose. We all have to figure this out together. We can't talk about what's in our hands, so we have to intuit what you might be able to do based on what you've done in the past. And it's got a great presentation. It's fast, it's puzzly, it works really, really well. So why didn't it come in higher? 2 things. One, like The Crew before it, if you're not really attuned to trick-taking tile games, this can be a challenging game to try and figure out, because it's so counterintuitive. Half the time I want to win, half the time I want to lose. I want you to win, I want you to win. Trying to keep all that in mind for my wife, Jen, was a challenge. And in the same way, The Crew is a challenge for her. But if anything, this one, the win conditions that we are all trying to navigate are more complex. And so for Jen, it was a little bit too much. And I say this knowing that Jen is a better gamer than me. She can handle Agricolas and Arc Novas all day long, but this one really burned her brain in a big, big way for such a tiny little trick-taking game. I loved it. I was really into it. The other thing, though, if there's one complaint I have about the design, remember, if you're playing as a solo or a 2-player game, there's that third player that is the WFA or whatever the Wild Fund Association, whatever it is. In The Crew, they have a similar thing where there's another player who you get to see half of their cards and the other half are hidden. In this game, you get to see all of that third player's cards. And honestly, I did not like that as much as The Crew's approach, where it's imperfect information. I know either you have the card I don't see, or I know the dummy player has it, but I don't know which one of you do. In this game, I know where all the cards are. You can count them. You can figure it out, because you can see all of the third player's cards. And I can see all of my cards. And so that led to a lot more card counting. And honestly, you kind of needed to do it because of the extra level of complexity with all of the missions we're trying to manage, but I still kind of wish they had adopted the Crew version where I can see half of the WFA's hand and the other half will slowly be drip fed, so I can never be 100% certain where the North American Grizzly card is. Because, okay, I see they don't have it, I don't have it, I know you have it, and I can make moves knowing that you can figure that out, but I just want that little extra little bit of unpredictability. Honestly, I think a great homebrew variant for this, which would increase the difficulty, would be only get to see half of the third player's cards, and they get slowly drip fed over the rest of the game. But that's my only complaint. And this Animalia, for fans of the crew, you, especially if you can play it as a 3-player game, you definitely owe it to yourself to seek it out, because I think it does the crew in a fresh, new, interesting way, and it really changes up the formula. That's number 10 of the month, Animalia. And thanks for watching, folks. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. It makes a huge difference, believe me. But with that out of the way, if you'd like to see some more, over on the left, you can find a playlist of a whole bunch more Rahdo Rapid reviews. Up in the top right, there's the latest thing that's been added to the channel. And in the bottom right, you've got something YouTube recommends. Okay, folks, thanks for watching.